And if you'll just take a minute to tell us, what's the big idea behind Christian Cool?
Yeah. Well, I think, Tony, you and we've talked about that my curriculum is a little bit different because the lesson is all on one page. And the reason I do that is because I think it's easier. When you get a lot of material, it's hard to keep track of how you move from one thing to the next within your day. I think I am a good planner, but I know when I'm teaching and I get in the classroom and there's lots of kids and chaos starts to happen, it's easy to get off track. So I like to just have everything on one page. So you may be asking, well, if it's all fits on one page, then there's maybe not a lot of content with your curriculum. And I'd say yes, yes and no. I think I offer a good amount for what we can expect from kids. I think I offer just the right amount of content. I want to say that we have the rest of our lives to learn scripture. And in these formative years, like we've already talked about, it's really important that we build these strong bonds with these kids so that they do want to learn content for the remainder of their lives, so that they do want to study scripture. And we want to make it fun. We want to make it cool. We want to make it something that they want to do, that they want to take the initiative to learn about on their own as they grow into teenagers, young adults, and adults. So with that said, Christian Cool was an idea that just came to me. There were these words that kept popping into my head that started with C. And I'm like, I have a lot of these words that I could probably write a curriculum with all words that start with C. So that's kind of where each week is a different theme. And they all start with the letter C. I thought that might be memorable for some kids. And Tony's showing us what they all are right now. So lesson 1 is create. Lesson 2 is consider. 3 is contribute. 4 is contentment. 5 is courage. 6 is compassion, and 7 is collaborate. And these lessons, I think we pack a lot in them. You could even really spread them out over probably a couple lessons, depending on how much time you leave for discussion and conversation. But with all of my curriculums, we start with a prayer. Then we move on to an activity. Then we have our Bible lesson and discussion questions. And then we end with a craft or some sort of way to be creative. So every curriculum also has teacher tips, and I highly recommend that you read those because those will help you to understand our goal for each of our things that we do within the lesson. So I offer some tips on how to pray. Oh, go on, Tony.
That's okay. I was going to cut you off anyway. And I should have quizzed you on those 7 C's because we just said that's a lot of content. I was going to test the curriculum writer if you could remember 6 months later exactly what those 7 were, but I already spoiled it. So maybe
Yeah,
next time. But yeah, I love what you're saying because, we don't want to punish kids with the Bible. And that's something I caught myself doing early in my ministry because I was from a church background where it was like content, content, content. You're going to learn all this. You're going to learn the catechism. You're going to have a memory verse every week. You're going to do this. And you can do a lot of things to make that fun, but it became a lot of work and a stressor for some children to feel like church school was in session every Sunday. So I said to myself early on in my ministry, I said, look, I don't want to punish any child with the Bible. The Bible, I don't want to just, it's not a spelling test, right? So that's one thing I appreciate about your approach is, and you haven't said this directly, but I think it's within everything you do is the do no harm. We don't want to do any harm to the children and their future spiritual growth, to cram one more memory verse in today. But then the rest of their life, they're going to think, oh, Bible memory, that's miserable. Well, Bible memory shouldn't be miserable, right?
Mhm.
Unless someone unless someone punished you with the Bible as a child.
Mhm.
So we're going to move on in just a second, but Christian Cool, definitely get the free download. So on all our curriculum, we try to do a free lesson download. So on Lauren's stuff, you can definitely get the free download, see if you like it, see how she puts her lessons together, and then come back and get the full unit if you like it. I'm sure you'll love it.